Oh, what the fuck? 22% of grade 12 students in the U.S. in the 2019 assessment are proficient in science. Are you shitting me? Okay, so this was brought to my attention, and this video is going to be a little different because the thing about this is that I've said it before, I've said it again, and will continue to say it. Universities and schools are where the next generation of scientists are trained. And so when this came across my Twitter feed, I couldn't resist taking a look and making a video about it. And I, to a degree, agree with Sarit here, which she's fun to follow, so I recommend following her on Twitter too. So thank you, Sarit. I apologize if I mispronounced your name here, but so every year, not every year, there's every few years there's the National Assessment of what is it? Crap, I can't remember. Shoot, the nation's report card. Yes, the National Assessment of Educational Progress is put out every couple of years, assessing the proficiency of U.S. students in various subjects, and one of them being science, amongst other things. And this is a great follow-on, I think, because we're so concerned about some of the things with social justice and what have you, and you're telling me that students aren't proficient in a lot of things. And let's just have a gander. Okay, so this is the nation's report card, and some of the numbers in here have been updated for 2019, but this is for all public and non-public schools in the United States, and it's a percentage of students who are proficient in these topics, according to the National Assessment for Educational Progress. Let's see, so some things here. Civics. Wow, grade 12 students, like 24% of our grade 12 students, seniors going into college, are proficient. This is encouraging. At least you got some proficiency in economics going on here, right? Geography, mathematics, kind of critical. 24% proficient in mathematics. They're coming into college. 24% of them are actually proficient in mathematics. 24% of students. We have a great educational system, don't we? Oh, what the fuck? 22% of grade 12 students in the U.S. in the 2019 assessment are proficient in science. Are you shitting me? Really? This is this is why I harp on this. This is why I'm going to be harping on this in a couple of videos, is because this matters. When you're training the next generation of scientists and they're not coming into college into the advanced scientific topics that they're learning, and they're not proficient in science, you wonder why they don't succeed in college. You wonder why they don't succeed in being a scientist. You wonder why it takes a while. And yeah, I can understand some of the standardized stuff doesn't meet very well with what students do and how well they perform and all this kind of jazz. But for crying out loud, can you please do us a favor and actually be focused on proficiency in science? 12% are proficient in U.S. history. 27% are proficient in writing. You can't write? I'm sorry. If you want to be a scientist, you have to be able to write journal articles, peer-reviewed articles. You have to be able to defend your work in writing. You have to be able to write grant proposals. Writing is important, and frankly, right now, the common language for writing for the scientific community globally is English. And so you need to learn some English and actually be proficient in writing and reading in English. Well, we can read, but apparently we can't write. That's interesting. 7% in reading and 27% in writing. That's good. That's lovely. What the if you're so focused on the social justice stuff right now, and you're not interested in figuring out why the hell these numbers are as bad as they are, and getting students to be more proficient in these things, what the hell is wrong with you right now? That's all I gotta say with that. I mean, seriously, this is a bigger, important thing for our future, that these are the students coming out of high school, going into college. These are the students who might be pursuing an advanced degree. These might be the students who are going into business or into law school eventually, or med school or what have you, and you're not proficient in the basics. What the... Good grief. What do you expect me to say here? I'm annoyed. This might be classified as a rant video. I don't know. I'm annoyed. I mean, I feel like I'm doing a Deb Philman style rant, which if you don't know Deb Philman, go check out The Reason We Learn. That's a great channel. Talks all about education issues. And she harps on this a lot. I mean, this is nice that we got some literacy going on in tech and engineering, but science? You're telling me that we're training the next generation, and this is public and non-public, by the way. This includes our private schools. I don't know if this includes charter schools or not, but public and non-public schools. What the ever-living... I don't even know what to say right now. This is why I worry about it, okay? And yeah, if you go dig into this, you'll find some disparities based upon different things. Actually, what have you? The interesting thing I think of with the what? Let me see if it's in here. So yeah, this is the specific one with respect to science. 22% of 12th graders at or above proficient, not significantly different compared to 2015. In other words, this is a long-standing problem that we haven't been able to teach students to be proficient in science. You want good scientists, you better damn well get them to be proficient in science, in the basics at least, for when they come into college and when they go into advanced degrees with all this stuff in college. What the hell are you doing? This is... I'm flabbergasted by this. Honestly, I'm shocked. I go back to Sarit and I was like, oh, shit. When I see these numbers, because it's just like, great. Come on. And this is regardless of race, too. I think it's down here that very many of the... Well, it's not... I don't think it's... Oh, no, it is down here. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I mean, well, we may get to that in a second. I don't know that I want to dwell on that as much. But, no. This hasn't changed all that much in 10 years. You haven't improved the proficiency of this kind of stuff. What the hell are you teaching? In all seriousness, what the hell are you teaching that you can't even... I mean, you've got basic fundamentals. And you can see even the basics are going down. The basics are actually going down here, although it's not really statistically significant, I imagine. But, this is actually statistically significant right here in their analysis. I'm really surprised by that. So that's fascinating to me. So, yeah. I mean, this is the reason I've been harping a bit on universities and institutions. This is the reason I harped on nature. It's like, if you're so set on the systemic racism narrative, but you're ignoring the fact that so many students in the U.S. that are coming out of school and are not proficient in the basics of science, and more of them are not, as you can tell, the below even the basic requirements of this assessment is increasing, actually. And some of it's going in the proficient direction. Fine, whatever. That's nice. Although this isn't statistically significant difference. It's like it hasn't changed. It's roughly 20 to 22% every year that is proficient in science. Proficient or advanced, actually, because this is for like advanced level science, which is 2% of students. That's good to know that that's increasing. But I mean, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing that we are not actually teaching our students to be proficient in science? And actually to be proficient in all of these things. Writing is an important aspect of doing a career in science. Understanding of geography, mathematics, reading, I forget who said it, who said it in a quote, but somebody said mathematics is the gate and the key to the sciences. And that's true. For a lot of the physical sciences, like climate science, like physics, like chemistry, like any number of different things, you need to be very proficient in math. And this is an utter shameful catastrophe that the U.S. has got this low of a proficiency of students in math. This is horrific. And this is what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about all of these numbers. As a scientist looking at this myself, and for me, for my reference, actually, I wonder if we dumb it down too much, because so a little bit about me. When I was in high school, I was so bored because it was so damn easy for the most part. And for me, it was so damn easy. You know what I did? I did all my homework the morning it was due. Almost all of my homework was due in the morning it was due in the library. I went to school early, worked on it all in the library, handed it in that day. It was way too easy. It wasn't challenging. It wasn't until I finally got to college that I was actually challenged. And that's not to say that these students who aren't, and it says something about the educational system. And I mean, these numbers are horrifying. It's not to say it can't be overcome, you know? It's not to say that students who are not proficient can't overcome these things in college, and you can't have a good tutor and things like that and learn well and have a career in the sciences and be, achieve that dream. If that is your dream, go into it. I think I don't have it up in front of me, but one of the things in the assessment report for the 2019 science assessment was actually more women at grade 12 want to go into science than men. Hey, awesome! I'm all for that. In there now, and that's all wonderful. These numbers don't necessarily mean that you can't overcome the lack of proficiency in something and still be a great scientist. That doesn't mean that necessarily. It means to me that you're putting a much higher burden on the students because you didn't challenge them when they were young. You didn't challenge them and inspire them and push them to be the very best that they can possibly be when they were young, and push them to have that education and be proficient in these things. You didn't push them. You just gave them the basics and let them walk out the door and barely let them pass with that. No. You got to try and push them. You have to push students that are gifted to do more. I didn't get that. I wasn't a straight A student. Part of the reason I wasn't a straight A student is because I knew I didn't need it. I knew I didn't need it to pass because they didn't care. Honest to God, they didn't. I don't think they cared. They didn't push us to be really good. They didn't push us to be better than just basic proficiency in anything, to be better than just the basics, to actually excel, to try, to want it. And you know what? Actually, when I was in high school, I was told, "You're not good enough." I wanted to go into meteorology. You know what? And I was applying to colleges, and all of them were out of state, and I was told by the guidance counselor, "You're not good enough. You're not good enough to go do that." And it's because I was half-assing it because I didn't feel challenged. I wanted that challenge. Most students, I would suggest that most students like to get that kind of a challenge, to be pushed, particularly ones that are really gifted. I don't know that for sure. I'm just taking a guess off the top of my head. Others can comment on that, and I'd appreciate hearing your thoughts. But this is horrifying to me when I think about the future of this country and the future of the next great generation of scientists, leaders, historians, economists, any number of different things, and all these numbers are that low. I don't think the education system's doing its goddamn job. Actually providing a quality education, whether it's public or private at this point. They're not doing a good job. So, I don't know where this is going to go from here, but I want to make a quick video about this because this is a fucking issue right here. I will link this in the description and you can go explore it yourself. But, yeah, I'm concerned. Because these kids are going to come out of high school and come into college, and I don't know if the response is going to be in colleges, let's just dumb things down because equity, right? Or if it's just going to be, we're going to let these students fail because they're not proficient. Or, there may be some great teachers out there who will realize a student has potential and they were just robbed of the opportunity to be proficient in science, and math and all the rest. And they may do their damnedest to help those students who are really gifted and just were robbed of a quality education. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons this could be that there's such a low proficiency. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on why that is, but this is horrifying for the future of science in the U.S. Anyway, that's my rant into the camera for today. I'll put this. This will go up tomorrow. This will go up the day after Memorial Day, probably. But happy Memorial Day to all of you. If you like this video, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed this content, I try and do as much as I can content-wise, and more so lately. And I'll be doing more explainer videos soon. Also, if you want to get more interaction with me and discuss some of these topics further, head on over to sciworthy.locals.com, sciworthy.locals.com, and I will be there if you become a supporter of sciworthy.locals.com, as I am a supporter of sciworthy.locals.com, by the way. You can get more interaction on these topics. And then some. And you can also ask questions of me and other scientists that are there on sciworthy.locals.com. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. Till next time, this is Adrian signing off. Stay curious, my friends.